What's up, guys? Welcome back to the That's Sowdev podcast. My name is Dev. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If this is your first time or if you're returning, just know you're iconic and I appreciate you. Like, it's giving loyalty? Anyway, so we have some tea to get into today. But before we get into the tea, make sure you go ahead and follow me at That's Sowdev on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe to YouTube, all of that. All right, now that we got that out the way, I want to, something has been on my mind. I've taken a lot of time from my podcast, and when I say a lot of time, I've done my baking podcast, but I've really taken kind of a hiatus away from a lot of the industry stuff and a lot of the pop culture things, right? Just so I could kind of find my refooting on what I want to talk about, what direction I would like to go in with my podcast. And obviously I know that, but there's like this sense of fresh energy that's going on, with all of my creative outlets, and everything's really just elevating. And as everything elevates, I want to make sure that I'm keeping quality content, period. And a big thing that is on everyone's mind is music and the things that surround music, because in this era of music that we live in, bitches really can't just focus on the music. They can't. And they make it hard for other people who may be on social media, who may not be as indulged in the music world. They almost ruin the experience for them. Now, at some point, I could say that I was one of those people that, my experience with the song would be ruined from people who didn't know how to digest music properly and wrote it off, or people who don't know how to give tens even if they don't personally like an artist, or things like that. Like, people really just can't look at music for what it is, right? And it's things like, I'll give an example, I guess. And the first name that popped up into my head, it's like a read the room kind of moment. But anyway, it's kind of like Lizzo, right? I don't care for Lizzo's music personally. I think that Lizzo's a very talented person. I think she has moved people with her music, and I respect that. And I give her tens. Or even, let's say, I'm a Fifth Harmony girly, and we know how, OT5 girlies feel about Camila. I do feel that, Camila has songs and moments that, she deserves her tens. And I think that, people have become so obsessed with this stan fan culture to where I guess they are super fan of X, Y, and Z, so they have no choice but to do everything in their power to discredit A, B, and C. And it's just so annoying to me. Y'all, it's so annoying to me. Like, because I stan Beyonce, I, therefore, do not like Nicki Minaj, because as a Beyonce fan, I am also supporting Megan Thee Stallion. But Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj do not have the best relationship. But even though I know that this is, a common occurrence that even happen amongst us regular people, I'm still going to treat Nicki Minaj as if she's the worst human being on the planet, because she had a casual occurrence of falling out with somebody, as we all do. You see how that don't fucking make sense? Because the shit that we go through every day, we kind of look at it just with we look at it with an open lens, like, oh, I fell out with this person because of this reason in my life, because of they did that to me, or, they had this energy that I didn't feel, I separated myself. The situations like that we deal with on a regular basis are happening with these celebrities, and they're just under a microscope. Like, so-and-so unfollow so-and-so. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck. Do you think Nicki Minaj going on stage at the VMAs and calling out Miley Cyrus stopped me from being a Miley Cyrus and Nicki Minaj stan? Like, no. And I don't stand either one of them any less. I probably stand them just as much as the next. So it's kind of like these little things that people are, I guess, you know, whatever's under the microscope, they're using another microscope to look even further behind it and to find ways to tear these people down, even if these people aren't, you know, bad people or people who are, I guess, people who would warrant getting some sort of backlash. So let's even say like a Morgan Wallet type person. You know what I mean? Like that person is going to get warranted blowback from the music community, from the stan community, from the fan community. That is going to happen, and that is warranted, all things considered. And so, you know, when a celebrity gets big enough, there are going to be people who are going to find any little thing to try to take this person out. And the thing that I think makes stan Twitter so like it's the cycle. It's the cycle of stan Twitter that makes it absolutely unbearable, because there is no wanting for it to be better. No one's really longing for this shit to be better. And everybody is going to complain about it, even the people that are part of the problem. Because it's true. It's really true. And, you know, there's a big thing also, besides the cycle, there's also comprehension. Because you can have a bitch that's just miserable on Twitter, right? And everything that they respond to, they're attacking and, you know, you know what I mean? Like, just going after a bitch's neck like it's nobody's business. And then you can have a person who's reasonably and warranted dragging a bitch, or randomly decides to come on Twitter while they smoking a motherfucking joint, and a bitch think that they mad. Be like, bitch, hold on. I got on Twitter 2 seconds ago. I responded to a motherfucking bitch, and you think I'm mad? Bitch, I'm smoking my joint. I'm good. Like, you know, there's a level of comprehension, and that's just an example right there as well. And I think it's really all about what energy you're putting into this world. Now, look, I'm warrantedly going to drag a bitch. Miss Corona B, that is going to be a lady that I warrantedly drag, and you will see that happen. Like, it's just like, I don't go out of my way per se to be like the worst natural nasty human being to this person in the world, but it's just like, this is a person that consistently does things on a regular basis, including physically assaulting people on a regular basis, whether it's throwing mics at people or sending people to beat up women, specifically men. Like, and it's just situations like that where it's just kind of like, you know, we keep giving people these platforms and nobody's really holding these people accountable. Like, who is going to hold these people accountable? And, you know, we do have people who are, you know, YouTubers, people who do have podcasts and stuff like that, who do actually vocalize these opinions and whatnot. And that really is just part of the brand that they carry. It's part of the environment that, you know, or the nature of what the job is. This is still a business at the end of the day. And that's a big thing too, because like, gimmicks is like a huge thing in the industry. Not even just in the industry, but also in the stan aspect of it, but also heavily in the artist aspect. And I'm glad that I actually just brought up, I'm gonna say her name flat out, Cardi B. I'm glad I brought her up, because there has been several instances where at this point, look, you remember what I said about giving people 10s? I'm gonna start here before I go any further. This woman is an entertainer. She can entertain. That is what she knows how to do. And she is good at it. Well, she's good at that. She wouldn't have been on a fucking TV show if she wasn't. Well, before that TV show, there was not a lick of music. Love and hip hop, mind you, music, right? Love and hip hop had no fucking music until she got on the show. So it was just kind of like, oh, now we're going to plant you here in order to do whatever it is we have on the agenda. And that's exactly what happened. And she got a career out of it. And I think when people really try to call it the industry aspect of it, she gets upset because she takes it personally. She's like, well, I did this work. Yes, you did this work. You essentially are the machine. Bitches operate the machines, right? So it's just another thing of comprehension as well. And it's a big thing where celebrities are also kind of egging on this stan culture as well. Because you have celebrities that are on here just believing anything that they see. And obviously regular people do that. But if you're in a position as as a fucking celebrity and you believe anything that's on there, bitch, you're gonna risk your whole brand for something like a screenshot. And it's not even not a screenshot in itself that's really organic, but an edited one. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, you gotta watch your platform in a way as well. And girl, and I know that coming from somebody who isn't a celebrity or isn't in that position, it's gonna be like, well, if you were in that position, blah, 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 but I'm not, right? I'm in the position of a person who discusses these things. That is the job, that is the brand, that is the nature. And it's right in front of everybody's faces. I'm sorry. It's in everybody's fucking faces. The gimmicks that go on, the little things that people do that get everyone riled up so that way they can get attention and do all this stuff. And it's not focusing on the music. It's trying to get your music to sell rather than just allowing people to naturally gravitate towards you and your energy and your music. And I know that's not how the industry always works now. But in a way, we're back to kind of naturally, people who may naturally just be stars in their energy in their own right, they're actually getting that attention in the mix of an industry that is so fake and full of people who are very surface level and lack the quality to be a star. And we are missing massive superstars. I was just telling somebody Olivia Rodrigo is the only person in that little area of her age range that's really looking like a massive superstar to last beyond 10 years. I'm not really seeing that with very many people. That's why we have all these OG legends and things and whatnot who were at the top of the charts. Like, when you think about it, you had Whitney Houston, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, Monica. Like, you had such a range of ages and celebrities and artists, and you know what I mean? Like, there were major batches of stars who were just at the top and just let their music speak for itself. They didn't have to do all these gimmicks. I remember specifically Cardi, she had a collaboration with Blackpink and she started drama, and she admitted to it. She started the drama because she wanted to promote the song. It didn't help the song. Her drama has never helped the song. Her drama has never helped her career. The only time that the drama or the gimmicks has helped her career was whenever it was going off of Nicki Minaj's name. She don't want to believe it, I'm sure, but she will always live in the shadow of Nicki Minaj because her come up was rooted in that drama. People knew Nicki Minaj before and after the Cardi B incident, right? Damn near 10 years before her and damn near 10 years after. So it's just kind of like, been there, done that, seen that already. Now we're kind of at this point to where she's almost like not giving a fuck about it anymore. We have allegations of cheating going on. We're lying about cheating allegations. We're doing PR stunts, throwing mics at people. Why are you throwing mics at DJs? Why are you throwing mics in the audience? Now, another thing that I also want to talk about is that situation as well, where she threw a mic at that girl and hit the wrong person. Now, one, you told people to throw water on you. This is in Las Vegas. Mind you, we are in 1:15 every motherfucking day, damn near, y'all. It's like my skin is burning. So, like, realistically, a lot of these artists say throw water on them, right? So you opened up the environment for people to start throwing water and throwing stuff up towards you, right? So then somebody actually does that, and you get pissed and then throw a mic in the crowd. If it was a situation where, okay, I don't want this anymore, no, I don't want to do that anymore, then say that, right? Because you open the environment, so at least close it before you decide to throw a mic, right? Because the whole time I was kind of in agreement. Like, okay, she threw a mic because somebody threw something at her on the stage again. You know, like, these people are getting stuff thrown at them on stage. I understood that. That, you know, I had no issue with that. But the simple fact is, A, you hit the wrong person. B, you opened the environment. C, you also threw a mic at a DJ later that night who did not throw anything on you. So what is your excuse for that? And D, now you fucking getting sued. And all of this to try to what? Sell your music. You don't believe in yourself that much, bitch, that you doing all this to sell your music, and it's still not, mind you, for 400K streams on Spotify. Not even in the globe. Like, girl, bye. No. I'm tired. There are so many gimmicks going on in this industry right now. Just sell your fucking music. I guarantee you, without all that extra shit, they probably would have actually gotten the same numbers. Well, they would have gotten the same exact numbers. So, y'all, it's one of those things where it's like, I want the industry to go back to where talent will win, right? Talent in the sense of you are a well-rounded artist with quality. The genuineness of having someone like Tayo Cruz create a song like Break Your Heart, and I don't know who this person is, but they have this hit that I've now grown attached to. They maybe even got another hit like Dynamite after it, and you know what I mean? Like, and it didn't have to be any more than that. I still hold Tayo Cruz in this little capsule of quality. Didn't do too much, did just enough, served your purpose, and then went on about your business. The fact that we keep milking this shit over and over and over. How are we not tired? Whenever music drops, can we focus on the music? Because when the music drop, it be about every last fucking thing else. A rap song drops and everybody is talking about every little thing in that song. I don't give a fuck if X, Y, and Z was shading A, B, C, D, E, F, and fucking G. I don't actually care, right? It may gag me. I'm gonna be like, oh shit. Oh shit, you know what I mean? But like, it's rap. So we have, in, you know, the social media times, we have a lot of people having opinions on things that they also don't know anything about. So we have people who are, well, let's see. Let me pick the perfect person to, whoever, Kylie Minogue or something like that. Whatever her name is, right? They stand her and her whole discography, but then want to go and speak on rap. Because the rap that has made them comfortable over the last couple of years have been Cardi, have been Lizzo, and so on and so forth. It has been those kind of raps that they have been listening to, and it is what they know. Or even they'll get Megan Thee Stallion. And the issue with that, as far as me goes, Megan Thee Stallion is a lot more mainstream than what her mixtapes were per se, even though they had mainstream type songs on them. She felt more like my homegirl back at that time. Now she just feels like a figure in the industry. And it's like, you know, I'm her. Ooh, it's the radio night. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's given. That's what it's given. If it's up, then it's, you know what I mean? And then Lizzo, why it gonna gotta be great? You know what I mean? It's not anything like what the fuck is Chanel? Custom down, look, what the same bird, baby, custom down. He said, could you throw a bat, maybe touch the ground? He said, do the, it's like, yeah, hold up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the creativity of art. You see the difference between that right there that I just went ahead and rapped? It's rooted in the craftsmanship of rap. It was created by a lyricist to be a rap, and it was bent over into another genre and dipped his toes in a pop. It's not pop and dipped his toes in a rap. That's like saying Seven Rings by Ariana Grande is a rap song. Enough. You can rap. You are not a rapper. And we know the fucking difference. Someone show me a Lizzo freestyle. Maybe even Cardi. One that's not trash, preferably. And it's just kind of like, at what point do we really start being serious? When do people... Because everybody will motherfucking complain about the industry, right? But multiple people, majority, will fucking be a part of the problem. So I really don't understand it. And the biggest thing about the industry is that I don't understand logically what these labels think, because obviously it's money. That makes the world go round. That makes everything, you know what I mean? It makes shit move. It make people get up. It make people dick hard. Like, you need to be fucking serious. Literally, at this point, labels are kind of like, if it makes me money, all right, bitch. To the point to where they will put Addison Rae on a pedestal, give her a bunch of backup dancers, put her on a late night TV show, and be like, boom, we have a new star. Bitch, what the fuck do you mean? If you don't send that bitch back to TikTok and let her do her goddamn 1, 2, 3 hip shake and 1, 2 bitch, no! Enough! I've had enough, y'all. This industry is in shambles. It's a shambles. And a big thing for me, and look, because I am making my own music, and it's not that serious, right? So for me, a big thing was like, okay, I recognize that the music that I want to make is not the music that I listen to, because I do enjoy some pop, R&B, blah, 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 but I enjoy the quality of classic R&B like Gerald Levert and Carl Thomas and all this stuff, and that is the music that I want to make. But there is a part of me that do want to like create songs that are fun, dancing and all that shit, you know what I mean? While understanding that to the core, I am an artist. I desire quality. I want to make the music that I want to hear and see. The quality I want to hear and see. That's that. I want everybody else to want this. Because seeing the actors and the writers go on strike made me realize something, and I realized this for a while. If none of these artists who have power, could you imagine if the music industry stopped? By releasing music, you are already losing money. So could you imagine if you had people like Beyonce and Rihanna and all these people on strike and picketing and doing all this shit? Could you imagine? That's fucking crazy. Do you know what that would do for the Grammys? Do you know how that would shift shit? This strike has really opened the doors beyond writing and acting. It's opened the floodgates for many things. And to be honest, it definitely started with Black Lives Matter. 100%. All of these things that these studios and these labels are doing to just simply make a product to make money. You're using AI and all this stuff to try to replace genuine and physical people. You're already losing your quality and your genuineness and the organic taste that you're supposed to be given, bitch. The organicness of the industry is in danger, because the second that AI takes over the music and takes over the film, TV industry, it is going to be hell. And that's what's scary. For me, I feel like the next big gimmick is going to be the AI. We've had streaming, we've had this, we've had this, we've had that, we've had that. The only thing that I could think of next that's going to shift this industry, because it's like, what else can you do? Okay, we left the physical CDs behind in the stores. Okay, we left the digital, where they were. And now we moved on to streaming. It's more accessible. Like, how much more can the industry change? And I feel like AI is going to be that next step. I don't know in what capacity or in what way that's going to happen, but it's next up. So I'm very interested to see how that's going to go. I'm interested to see where this industry goes, because it's very frustrating. I need us to get back to the product, to the art. You know, I just feel like with Barbie, the Little Mermaid, I just feel like we're getting back to cinema. No hard feelings. We are getting back to cinema. I feel like we're getting back to a full circle moment with music. Unfortunately, the writer's strike is happening now, so that may impact us having that theater is back feeling, right? You know, just as, you know, that started to happen, the strike came along, and now it's going to be like, well, shit, the quality is going to drop a bit, but they need to go ahead and pay them motherfuckers, because I'm really tired of these studios. Y'all make enough money, okay? Y'all make enough money. It's very nasty how they want to be so stingy, and you have people here barely pay. 6% the actors' pay has gone up, but rent in LA has gone up at least 35-37%. So I need us to start being serious at some motherfucking point. Anyway, y'all, all of these gimmicks and stuff, when we can just invest in talent and our talent and quality, like, I don't like that. I don't like where the industry is right now. I don't know what's next. I don't know how we get back to where we were. Lord knows how long that was, where the industry was quality. Like, I just feel like maybe, and here's my theory. 2016 and 2017 was such a dividing line. It was such a dividing, because after 2016, it felt like the peak of the industry before streaming really had its impact. Streaming picked up quite a bit in 2016, but 2017, that shit was serious. And then we really saw it take over the industry. So, y'all, something gotta give. Something gotta give, because there's too many things going on that's impacting the quality of the art. Too many things. And, you know, oh my God, I don't know what's going on with female artists lately, but it's just been one thing after another scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal. I know some of y'all probably saw Lana's list of people, you know, but whoa, y'all, like, the amount of shit that has been going on over maybe the past 2-3 months, whoa, like, I all these divorces, all these scandals, everything, it's something every day this year, and honestly, people in the industry are going through it. They are. These people are still human at the end of the day. You know, a lot of people do forget that. These are human beings with several millions. So, wish I had that. I bet you could use several millions. If I had several millions, realistically, I could not tell you how I would react if I was the celebrity in these situations, but I do know me at the heart and how I would respond to some things. You know? So, I just personally feel like if I had the resources and the money and all of that stuff, obviously I would be set personally, and so would my friends and family. But I just feel like I would be investing my time into several other things that did not involve me creating some sort of scandal in order to get my brand seen. Bitch, if it's that serious, just get Twitter blue, because you already embarrassing yourself. Might as well just go ahead and get a check mark, embarrass yourself even more. But some people, I remember some people lost their legacy checks on Twitter and was paying for Twitter blue as celebrities. I ain't forget that, because y'all could have went about, I ain't forget that. But anyway, this podcast was just about gimmicks and losing the equality, not the equality, but I mean that too, bitch, but like losing the quality of the art, losing focus of the art from all aspects, from stands, from celebrities, and how that kind of intertwines, because there are a lot of celebrities who egg their fans on and create these negative environments and showcase these very nasty examples of how one should act. So many may see, oh, my fave is acting this way, and they're going to replicate that behavior all over Twitter, essentially. So it's just kind of like, why on earth would you sit up there and create an example for people to go off of, right? And then when you get that energy back, you say stuff like telling your fans to crash their car. Like, dead ass. And this is also coming from Cardi B, because she's the main gimmick person inside the industry right now. And a lot of people are like, oh, could you not, because you a barb. Bitch, shut the fuck up. And let me tell you why you need to shut the fuck up. Because y'all motherfuckers who be on Twitter, who got, Normani, Nicki, Miss Minaj, Nation, Beyonce, Gaga 25 is over here making it about some stand shit. Oh, because you a bar, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, shut the fuck up. That's a human being. I'm a human being, right? I saw some fucked up shit as a human being, so I called that shit out as a human being. What the fuck that got to do with me being a bar? No, like, what the fuck did that have to do with me being a bar? Not at all. It amazes me, because if a normal, regular person did all of the things that Cardi has done, that person will be out of here. Like, no chances for that motherfucker. Like, there's no chance in hell that any of the people on social media or in real life is fucking with that. But it is her, right? And what gives people fuel to defend her is their hate for Nicki Minaj. And people don't want to admit that. So instead of saying, oh, what she did was fucked up, they rather blame it on the fact that you are a barb. And mind you, I've said several motherfucking times, I remember when Nicki Minaj talking about her cousin and saying her cousin's balls got big from the vaccine. It was like, Nicki, shh, no, don't do this today, ma'am. Ma'am, please don't. Or even with the whole Lee situation, when she wasn't minding her business, I thought she was very wrong for that. I thought there are several situations, and people gotta understand that, because you are on here so involved in that Stan Twitter mess, it has nothing to do with somebody else who may be on Twitter and may indulge in Stan Twitter. That's not their lives. And some people may be a brand where they discuss pop culture in the realms of Stan Twitter. Do not get that confused, because a lot of people get that confused. People get confused. People who don't have their face on their Twitter, but it's their brand and their business, are not the same people who don't have their face and has a celebrity as their picture. It is not the same thing. I promise you that, bitch. And I don't mind people who don't, who have, something else as their profile pic. Who knows? Maybe it's because of their job, or maybe, they do have social anxiety. Maybe they're worried about somebody finding them or something, or you know what I mean? Like, as long as you are not using that account to be nasty and negative and going out of your way to just be such a mean person to people, then I don't really have an issue with it. But 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be a bitch that's miserable. So I'm like, I don't know about that, boo. Yo, it's crazy up in here. But it is what it is. I mean, all this shit in the industry, and I'm going to have several different podcasts about several different aspects of the industry, but I really wanted to come back and discuss this right here, because the focus of music is entirely gone. It's gone. And all of this shit that I've talked about essentially is what's clouding it. It's what's clouding it. it's to the point to where people don't understand the music. They don't understand it. I'm going to have a whole different podcast on understanding music, digesting music, and all of that stuff. But I wanted to lay out the little blueprint for that podcast with this right here. Because this is a massive problem. This is a massive problem. It's a problem to the point to where it's taken a life of its own. And when celebrities come together to maybe stop even these negative type things, it doesn't work. It does not work at all. It stays the same. Prime example, Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez. They came out together. Do you think that Hailey Bieber, Justin Bieber, and Selena Gomez fans aren't going at it still? Or at both of their necks? Unfortunately, it's all over a man, and that same man hasn't said a word about it. So, well, I guess leave it to the women to have to fix it. But anyway, it's getting ridiculous, y'all. It's getting ridiculous. I don't know how we get back there, but I have some thoughts, and I'm going to go ahead and get those thoughts out on the next podcast. Yeah, absolutely. So make sure you stick around for the next podcast, y'all. And I'm super excited to be getting back into the space of talking about all of this, because for a while, I think I really needed to process a lot of the things that I wanted to discuss. I wasn't ready to have the conversation. I didn't have my thoughts together. I just, you know what I mean? And, you know, when you get a podcast, learning how to go about it, because, you know, you can, the first year I did podcast to the point of overexposing myself, in the sense of there's so many podcasts out here. Are there people keeping up? I didn't really care, because I needed to find my footing, find my ground. Unfortunately, I ended up, you know, starting to collab with somebody on that podcast, and that podcast ended up being very, very, let's just say I'm glad that collaboration is over, right? But it really definitely allowed me to reflect on where I was in the podcast space and really find out where I want to be. And it did. You know, I found out where I want to be, and now I'm really finding out how I want to structure it, you know? And it's just a trial and error thing. I'm in what is this? Maybe, is this my second season? This is my second season, bitch. I actually think this is my third season. So, like, this is my third season right now, and by the time the fourth season comes, it's going to be so structured. There's going to be points of hiatus. There's a schedule, y'all. There's going to be weekly podcasts, and the thing about it is it's such an intricate schedule, from the podcast, from the YouTube videos, and it's very structured in a way that also gives me time for, you know, breathing room after work, but also time to actually indulge into my music and, you know, give consistent content to people on a regular basis. I already do that, but I think that I personally have trouble with, again, finding those spaces of rest without sacrificing content for other people. But also, I am doing this for me. I'm doing this for other people, but I'm not only doing this for other people. So I have to keep in mind that rest is for me to be able to keep going forward with all of this stuff. So I don't have a social media manager. I don't have none of that. I'm not out here pulling gimmicks or anything like that for people to come and view my podcast or my videos. Whoever view them, whoever listens to the music, listen to it, and that's going to be that. And naturally, people just have been gravitating towards it. So I'm just going to keep going, stay consistent, and then, you know, build a nice army of fans along the way. And I've just really had a lot of support from the people who have been listening and watching. It's honestly been kind of crazy. The support, the feedback, and just people who want to see more. It's not overwhelming. It's validating. It's validation that I didn't go looking for, because the validation to me was already me doing this, because it's validation that I can do it by me putting it out there. You know what I mean? Because when I go back and I watch those videos of mine, I'm like, oh wow, bitch, that's funny as fuck. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just a high level of self-worth. It really is. I believe in me. I believe in my brand. And I think that people naturally feel that and naturally just align with my personality. And I think it opens up my brand to be able to bring in a nice quality batch of listeners, viewers, streamers, followers, all the above. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for listening to this podcast. It's been absolute blast talking about the crumbling of the music industry, and I absolutely hope that there will be more. That was a fucking joke. Anyway, all right, y'all, I appreciate you. Make sure you go ahead and drink some water, eat some good food today, and take care of yourself. If you are out on the West Coast, I mean, anywhere at this point, to be honest, but if you out on the West Coast, bitch, I know you burning. So go jump in the pool or something. All right? I appreciate y'all. I'm hopping off here. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, wherever, at that Sowdev. It's all under the same tag. And yeah, thanks for watching. Good, it's a podcast. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. Peace. What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is the second part of my Jersey Shore family vacation 6B conversation that we having. I've officially watched the season 6B premiere. I'm super satisfied. Now look, obviously we weren't going to get an entire episode of seeing Sammi, right? We were going to have to go through the trials and tribulations of last season and get through that BS in order to get through what we are essentially working toward, right? So the whole episode, honestly, it was just... Okay, I'm gonna be real. The episode was kind of rushed and everywhere for several reasons, but for good reason, right? So it's almost like we had to kind of rush to recap everything so that way we can move along to the next vacation, which Sammi comes in. Because if we focused on majority of the things that they covered in the episode for longer periods of time, it would have been a waste of time and they would have dragged out Sammi's return and people wouldn't have been happy about that, right? So this essentially just kind of set the stage essentially for Sammi's full on return with the family next week. Now, this episode, like I said, it was fast-paced, but I did enjoy the moments that we got following the reunion because we really did need some resolution from that. I wanted to know how everyone reacted after the reunion. A lot of the times, that doesn't happen. I don't feel like we get a continuation of the reunion. That was so perfect to me. So, because, look, I needed to see how Dina responded, how Jenny responded. And, you know, Jenny has her ways. She does. She has her ways where she can be a stone cold bitch. There are plenty of us who can be. Hello, that is a regular thing that is out there. But also at the same time, you really get to see the vulnerable side of Jenny. Like, Jenny genuinely cares about her relationship with Angelina, and she has put in quite the work. The only thing is with them two is that they butt heads so much, and I think that Angelina already has this insecurity that Jenny doesn't like her. So it's just kind of like instantly whenever something goes south, she automatically looks at Jenny. But at the same time, that is kind of the tea. The tea is the girls do kind of run behind Jenny too. So it is kind of okay, you have your part here and you have your part here as well. And that goes for Angelina and Jenny. Each person has their part in this situation. It's just not one person or the other person. It's both people. But a lot of the times, people are going to act like, I didn't do that, or I don't do that, or this is not what I am. I don't take Jenny as what the TV show shows us. But there are situations that happen that you're like, wait a minute, that's not sitting right with my spirit, ma'am. It's just not. you have a lot of those moments, and those are the human moments that you do want to see. Imperfect human beings and how they go about navigating these situations in their adult friendships. Living with people is hard. Filming a TV show and living and bitch, I could imagine for the whole world to see, be serious, because groups of friends, that shit is hard. That shit is so hard. And I just feel like the girls have not settled into their dynamic. And that's a big thing. Like, they haven't settled into their dynamic at all, because there's still that OG dynamic of, Jenny and Snooki, and then Snooki and then Dina. And the missing piece really was Sammi to balance it out, to be completely honest with you. Because, for one, Sammi and Angelina, like I said in the previous part of this podcast, had a great relationship. So it was just kind of like, the anticipation of seeing Sammi and Angelina step into this house together, to me, it feels like peace is on the way. That's what it feels like. Because essentially, Sammi is going to come in, and Sammi is going to make a lot of people reflect on themselves because of how she carries herself and how she looks at things. Because Sammi will be the person to own up to her shit, and then Sammi will also be the person to call you out on your shit. But then people also respect Sammi enough to hear her. I don't feel like people respect Angelina enough to hear her when they call her out, or when she calls them out. Like, there's just no respect there. And I feel like Sammi is the basis of that respect. So that's all I'm saying. The episode last night, it was really intense, because there's so much building to what is coming that, I don't know, the episode went by in 15 minutes. I swear I only watched 15 minutes of the episode, because it's like, where did this episode go? I enjoyed seeing Mike's family. I enjoyed seeing the girl's vulnerability after. I enjoyed seeing, honestly, Angelina and her fiance. I've enjoyed seeing Ron. We literally saw every single Jersey Shore member on the screen in one episode. That is so weird to me. It was so pleasing, so fulfilling, and I just can't wait to see what the rest of this season is going to give us, guys. It brings me utter joy, bitch. I commented under Sally Sweet. If you don't know, the executive producer, creator, ma'am, yes, she's iconic. Look her up. That's my bitch right there, right? I said, Miss Ma'am, you outdid yourself. And she is just one of the most kind human beings, honestly, even because we've had several interactions on social media. I'm like, girl, you gotta cast me, okay? And Sally, if you come across this podcast, ma'am, please cast me. Yeah, I'm ready. No, it's not easy, but I'm ready. Anyway, y'all, I just feel like everything about this season feels organic. There have been times when people are like, oh, they're creating this storyline, they're doing this, they're purposely doing this, and it obviously is TV, right? I mean, we are talking about an industry where celebrities have filmed their own sex tapes and then have gone back to refilm and get better angles and blah, 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 right? Bitches are full on producing sex tapes. So, when it comes to a reality TV show, you have to be serious, because if they need to do it again, bitch, if they need to structure it a certain way, bitch, they are going to. And that's just going to be that. So, I just feel like this season, or even, I can't even say this season because we've only seen one episode, but just watching the episode, I didn't get any sort of feelings of inorganicness in regards to how this is playing out. My question was, when nobody showed up to Mike's dinner with his child. Now, that had to be a producer thing. That had to be a behind the scenes thing. Because I can't imagine for having, a little old event over where Mike is, really celebrating his kids and his babies, and they didn't show up. So I wonder if that was a decision behind the scenes to really only have some people come, just like they did for Dina's little holiday special edition. It wouldn't be the first time that they did that, and they wouldn't comment that they did that. So I just wonder if that was the case. I personally didn't get any drama from that. I didn't, but Vinny did say when it comes to moments like these, it's really where you put the petty BS behind and you really be there for family. And I do feel like that was a moment where, that really should have been the case. It wasn't, and it doesn't seem like that was taken personally, because there is a lot of divide going on in the family. There is. Obviously not in the very, very current moment, but in the TV show's current moment, right? Because we know at this point that they've worked through their issues from last season, but we're just curious as to where this is going for the rest of the season. So, last night set the tone for what this season is going to bring us. We know that the girls have some sort of beef with Sammi. We know that Sammi felt some sort of way about Nicole opening a shop at Seaside. And, it's like, it's not that big of a deal. It's really not. But I can see where that might have caused tension between people who haven't really stayed connected in forever. And now, I have a Shore store, and now you have one too. We haven't communicated, but, we aren't on, there was already, a divide between them after the show had been over and after the reboot had started. There already had been a divide between Sammi and the girls. So I can see where that would have come about as something sort of shady, not sitting right with me or whatever, questioning it or whatever. You know what I mean? Because she had this idea in her mind that, I don't even know if they would want me back this whole time. But the whole time, everybody and their mom was like, Sam, for the love of God, please come back. I shit you not. It doesn't matter if they were on that show saying that they hate that girl. They would have screamed joy to have her back. And, the show showed me a lot of things that had happened. I didn't see a lot of things where, Jenny had go on a podcast talking, or Dina and Snooki on an Instagram live video or whatever. It just did not seem I don't know, that in a way that caught me off guard, because I didn't see any of that stuff whatsoever. And so I'm interested to see how this plays out, because obviously, Sammi has her own part in her own story, and then the girls have their own part in their own story. But also at the same time, we're adults, life happened, shit has happened, people got their feelings hurt, and you want to know what? They're going to handle them like adults. So I can't wait to see what the rest of the season holds, y'all. I'm not going to go on too long. Y'all already got the first part to this, so y'all know what the tea is. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm not going to run y'all in any circles. All right, y'all, we wrapping this podcast up now. I'm super excited. I can't wait for the next episode of Jersey Shore. You need to be ready. I'm going to be back here on this podcast next week. So come back here next week on Friday, and we are going to have a blast. I'm very serious. This season is going to be insane, and I want to chat it up with you guys every single episode. I'm not joking. Every episode. All right? Okay, now make sure you go ahead and drink you some water, eat you some good food, get you some good rest, and I will see you guys next time. All right, y'all? I'm out here. Peace.